Hey guys, welcome back. So in this lecture, we're going to see how to automate in Selenium static dropdown. So a static dropdown, it's nothing, or we call traditional dropdown. So this is an example in our Code and Box Automation Lab. This page on the practice page, this is a static dropdown. So here is a dropdown, and if you click on the arrow, there is the value or options are fixed. So you can select Selenium, or you can select APM, or you can select API. So from the dropdown, if the values are, the predefined is not dynamic, this is called static dropdown. Okay, so there is two types of static dropdown you can see nowadays. Both are correct. It's pretty same, but the behind the scene, the HTML code is a little bit different. So example, this is this one. So if I just select this one, and then let's inspect this, and here is the HTML code related for this static dropdown. You can see this is the HTML code, and if you notice that this for this HTML code for this static dropdown, the tag is started with the select. The select, that's a tag, starting tag, and then there's an ID, there's another parameter, and closing tag. So this is very traditional way to create a static dropdown using select tag. And that time, to select any one of the item inside that, we have to use select class. So in Selenium, there is a class, it's called select class. You can use select class to select any one of the item, from the static dropdown if the dropdown, created with the select tag. That's number one. And how to select any one of the item using this select class, I'm going to share a link, later in our class node that that is in our YouTube. You have that related, the tutorial. You can watch this one. This is you can say assignment. You can watch it and practice that. But today's, our tutorial is going to be another, which is a very regular, you can say regular expression, regular dropdown without select tag. This is mostly we see in our nowadays almost of the application. So we're going to use yetransa.com. So let's see, that's yetransa.com. If you go to the yetransa.com, let me open yetransa. If you go to the yetransa, and here this is a dropdown, traditional dropdown, and you can see it has multiple options. All are selected, all are predefined, nothing is dynamic, but you can add the value up there. So here, if I just select, right click, inspect this, you can see this is the HTML code for clicking first over here. That's represent this drop down, and it has started with the input. Okay, the tag name is started with input, so there is no tag that's started with the select. So in that case, we're not able to use select class from Selenium library. So this is more usual, the case scenarios nowadays. So in this tutorial, we're going to see how we can select, any value from it from this, drop down. So example, here is a number one. I want to add 1, 2, 3. Say example, I want to add 3 passenger, 3 adult. So how can I do this? Okay, that will be the today's tutorial over here. Okay, so let's go to our Eclipse. So here is our Eclipse, and I'm going to add, so I already created class. It's called static dropdown. Here is the main method. I'm going to add our very common line, which is a Chrome driver. Create an object of the Chrome driver and maximize the window. Let's hover mouse. So import. Okay. So it's not showing me the package for the Chrome driver. It can happen. Don't be panic. In that case, you can go back to your another class, and then you can copy this input, the package file related to the Chrome driver, and then paste it over here. import, it should be gone. And then WebDriver, now let's see, you can see Chrome driver. No, now it's WebDriver, create WebDriver, not the Chrome driver one. So you can do for the same for WebDriver. This is the package related with the WebDriver. Let's copy and then manually paste it over here. Probably it's not going to happen for your case. Okay, anyways, save it. And after that, we're going to, after the maximize the window, we're going to launch driver.get what's the URL. So our URL is going to be I said Transa, right? Transa. So Transa, this is the, let's put transa.com. Okay, and then minimize. transa.com, and after that we're going to, let's put a node. Let's see, let me see, we'll show one thing. So when you first visit transa.com, there will be some pop-up window will come up like this, okay, which is related with the cookies, like accept all cookies or cookie settings. So you need to choose, you need to click on accept all cookies, then you will able to work on this page. Other than this page is inactive. So the page will be active after you click on accept all cookies. So you have to click over here before you do anything in this page. So right click, let's inspect this cookie, and then accept all cookie. Let's see, this is the HTML code. It's very straightforward, right? So ID, there is an ID. Let's copy and paste it. Get the ID value, okay? And then, so I'm going to say driver dot find the element by dot ID, since we got the ID, and then paste the value of the ID. And so this is the all accept button. And what do you want to do? We want to click up there, right? Click, see the click method, right? So let's make a node. Also, we can say, let's make a node here. So what we did, click on all cookies button. Okay, this is what we did through this line. Okay, and after that what are we going to do? We want to, now the next is we want to click on a drop down button, right? So let me go back here. Let's minimize there. Let's open this one. So we want to click on the drop down. So before we added this number, right? Let's refresh it. So this will look like this, and you have to click up here so that the drop down option, it's open. So you have to click over here first. So to click, it means you have to locate this area, this this area, and by default is one passenger is selected, this area. Then if you click on there, it will open. So you have to locate this address and then click up here. To locate this address, let's inspect this. Let me see, inspect this, and then it has an ID. Let me, in that case, you can use always, let me bigger it. You can always use selector sub. We already know how to, spy, how to create XPath, all those things, but it's to make it faster, easier. Let's get the help from the selector sub. So from the selector sub, relative XPath. Okay, so this is the relative XPath. It's easy. You can see, you can copy and paste here. You can double check. It's selected one element, so it selected this button. So it's easy, and also you can say it's use input ID. So here is a input tag and ID this, right? So let's use this one. Minimize this. So we're going to say here So we're saying that this is the code for click on drop down button. Click on drop down button. Okay. So we're saying driver dot find element by, right, by dot, it's XPath. We're going to use XPath. This is the XPath, right? And then what you're going to do, XPath, we're going to click up here, right? Use the click method. Okay, so this will click the drop down button. So it will click the drop down button, then it will open. So we have to add, say example, we're going to add 3 adults. It means, this plus button I have to click 3 times. So let's look at the plus button, right? So let's look at it and again inspect it. So this is the HTML code related, and then let's use the XPath from the selectors hub. So copy this relatives XPath, and then paste it over here. Just double check to see this, is that selecting one item or not, or right element. Yes, it's selecting this one. So let's copy this one. So we're going to say over here. So now we're going to click on locator. Let's look, since this is a long locator, what we can do, this is the address for locator, plus locator or plus button. Okay, so this is the address, driver dot find element by dot XPath, and then this is the locator. Okay, it's a long locator. So what I'm going to do, so this is the address of this plus button, right? So let's put this button, this address or this element in a variable. So I would say this variable given name add passenger. You will understand why I'm putting this address, this locator in a variable within a second. So I'm giving a variable name add passenger. Since this locator about the adding passenger. Okay, and then let's what would be the return type? Return type would be web element. Okay, so hover your mouse, input the related package with the web element. So this variable is nothing about the locator or address for the plus button. Now what I have to do, I have to click in this locator. How many times? I said we're going to click on there. If I click, so this is the address. So first times is by default 1 passenger selected. So if I want to add 2 more, so 1, 2. Okay, if I want to add 3 passenger, or let's add 4 passengers, so it means 3 more times I have to click on this button. So what I can do, so this is the address for that plus button. So I can do one thing. I can put this locator, which is driver.find element, this dot click, right? So it will be click 1 time. If I want to add, so this is will click 1 times, it means the 2 passengers. If I want to add 2 more passenger, it means 3 total, 3 passenger. So I can copy this 1, 2, right? So this will add 3 more, and the by default is one passenger, so it will be 4 passenger, right? So this will do the job, right? So let me see whether it's working or not. And one more thing I want to add here is one more thing. So when it's launched this application, when it's invoke the application, and here, as I have shown you, that as soon as you launch the application, it shows this cookies. So you have to, and this to load this, this option, all the cookies option, it takes few seconds, the application. But what's that's why what do we need to do? We need to put some wait. Let's put some wait over here after it's load. So we'll say thread.sleep. Thread.sleeps. We'll put the milliseconds, say 3000 milliseconds. L. Okay, milliseconds. So it will put some hold or wait to add. Click on add through declaration. So what I'm doing, so it will, after it launches the application, it will hold the application 3 seconds. So it means your driver, our driver will be wait 3 seconds so that to accept all cookies, that button is displayed. Because if we don't put this wait, what it will do, our driver will launch this application and then it will come back to this line and it will try to find this accept all button, try to click it, and if it doesn't find it, it will throw some exception, it will throw some error, it will say element not found, something like that. So it's better we can put some thread to sleeps. You can try it, try without it thread to sleeps. You will see that it will throw some exception. So that's why I'm adding for now thread to sleeps, even though thread of sleeps is not recommended, it's not a best practice to use in your script. Later on we'll learn the synchronization, which is implicitly explicitly wait. So we'll see, but till now it's okay to use thread of sleeps. Okay, let's run it. Let's see if it's working or not. Java run. So let's make sure. Just click it. Okay, looks like it's a one passenger. It didn't click. Let me see what's the error. Okay, it's saying that element click intercept. Okay, element click intercept element ID. So what's which one? Element ID. So use this one. This is the ID. It's saying that failed. Okay, so it didn't able to string is not clickable. So this ID is not clickable. So all cookies button was not able to clickable. Let's increase the thread.sleeps 5 seconds. Okay, let me run it again. Okay, now it's added. You see, now I was able to click on there and now you can see it's added for passenger. Okay, 3 times. So it looks good. It's a work. Okay, but here is one thing in our code we need to optimize. So what I did here, this is the locator for the plus button, right? And so if I use this locator like a variable, add passenger, and then apply a click, it clicked one time, then it clicked again, then it clicked again. What if I have to add 10 passengers? So am I going to write copy this line 9 times? No, this is not I mean, it will work, but this is not a best practice to do. This is not a standard coding standard. So when your senior peer buddy is going to review your code, they will say, okay, this is you have to change it. This you cannot do like this. You cannot write the code like this, even though it's going to work. So what do we have to do? If we want to write the same code or execute the same line of code again and again multiple times, we can use for loop, any loop, while loop or for loop. Let's see how we can use while or for loop. Let me put this one in a comment. So we'll say for, I'm going to use for loop, integer I equals to, let's use 1 comma, then I less than, how many times I want to run? 1 2 3. So this is the condition. It will tell you how many times you want to run the loop, how many times I want to start it from 1 I want to run 1 equals to 3, or you can say 1 less than 4. So it will start from 1 and then 2, then 3. Okay, so it will be less than 4, and then I plus plus. So this is my loop statement. And then what would be my body of the loop? What I want to do, I want to exactly for every time I run the loop, I want to click on there. I want to apply this execution, this line. So same line of code will execute multiple times. So when I equals to 1 and I less than 4, if condition is true, come to over here, it will execute this code. It means go to this locator and click on the button, right? It will one time it will click, so it will be add another passenger, one more passenger, one more passenger, and after that it will go back to increment. So I will be increment, right now is 1, it will be 2. So the condition is true, 2 less than 4, yes, come to over here again, it will follow this execution. So we'll add one more, so it will be it will add one more plus one more, right? In the same way it will go again, increment the value of I, so it's 3 less than 4, yes, it will come to, and it will do. So it's same way. If you need to add 10 more passenger, all you have to just change the value over here. Instead of 4, change the condition 11, so it will start from 1 to 10, so it will be at 10 more passenger, right? So that's the way it's going to be reduce your line, and this is the part of the optimization of your code, right? So you cannot you don't have to write the same line of code again and again. So that's why the loops comes to the picture, and it's very handy. Okay, so let's save it and let's see this if it does the job or not. Okay, here we go. You can see, let's maximize. So you can see it's added 4 passenger, right? So it did the same job, for using the for loop. Okay, so that's all for today. But here is the YouTube video. I will share with you the link that you can follow this video and do the practice. You can say this is your assignment, do the same practice, follow this and do the exercise in our code and box automation lab. That's the practice page we have here, automation lab over here, there, because it's using exactly the same technology, like using the select tag and select like Selenium, and see that you are able to do it or not. But I will share the code also. Okay, that's all. Thank you. Bye-bye.